Guys, I'm going to talk about assignment number 3, which is essentially how to create a local VM and then auto scale it to a cloud, which is GCP here, when the resource usage exceeds 75%. So what I'm trying to do is basically I'm trying to monitor the local VM when the CPU usage exceeds 75%. I'll check if the VM exists or not. If it does not, then I'll create a VM and log the VM's IP that was created and then redirect the traffic to the new application. Basically migrate my Flask app to the autoscale VM app. Okay. Here, as you can see, it is running monitor.py, and then if it exists, it is redirecting to the local VM, and if it does not, so if it does not exist, then it is redirecting to the local VM. If it does, then it is redirecting to the autoscale VM. Okay. Now, if the CPU usage exceeds 75%, it will create the Flask app. Okay. And we have monitoring thread separately, which will monitor the CPU usage. Okay. For this, I have used psutil package and I have used Flask. I have also used G-Cloud and Google Cloud SDK, which is basically used to create a VM, login through the login to the console or the cloud shell. Okay. Now let me quickly move to the demo part. Okay. So as you can see, we already have this VM. As you can see, there is no instance that is created right now. We have our monitor script, which is basically uh, this is the project ID, the zone where we want to create the resource, the name of the VM that we want to create. Now my local host name is Nikhil Virtual Machine. The VM name here is autoscale VM. Okay, I've given 3 CPU threshold and the cooldown. So what I'm doing is this is a sample script for my app, and this is the startup script. So I'm feeding that startup script whenever a VM is created. Then I'm using this script to start the Flask app that I am creating. Okay. And during this, I'm tagging this Flask server, which is basically a Firebase policy that I've created. I'll show you later in the video. What it essentially does is it allows HTTPS traffic to the port HTTP to the port 5000. Now, okay, I'll close this. Okay, now we have this. I'll start the monitor.py and I'll start the app that is there. Okay, so what this app does is basically it shows me the IP and the name of my machine. So the name of my machine is this. It shows that. Okay. Now if I go to app, I've deliberately created a separate text for it. If you go to the slash app one, slash app will just give me local application content. Okay. To not confuse it with the existing one. Okay. But when I go to this same URL, afterwards, you will see the redirection happening. Okay. Now there is no instance here, and the monitoring is running. It is showing the CPU usage as follows. We can also use the internal one. It has not crossed 75 yet. It has maximum reached like 52 or something. It is fine. Now what I'll try to do is I'll try to induce load for it for about 10 seconds. If it crosses that, then it will trigger creating of VM, which is basically auto scaling. I'll introduce the load. It quickly got that load. Now it is creating a VM for it. Yeah, the VM is created with an IP of this. Okay. You can also see the CPU usage here. It reached 100%. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll try to check the page again. Oh, what I would want to do is basically go to the app page of this. Did I do something wrong? Okay, let me check the IP of the instance that is created. 34, 45, 77, and 155 slash app. Okay, as you can see, the IP address is given and the host name is given. So earlier, I think it was not created, like it was created, but it was not running. The app was not running. It took some time to install all the packages, and now it is running successfully. Okay. So I've also added the screenshots to this, and I've created a report on this. You can view the screenshots with the flow diagram on how it is running, and basically the conclusion is we can simulate this auto scaling from a local VM um, to the cloud VM. Okay. Now this was running on the VM that I created. To show that, what I would do is basically, yeah, I can show this. See, this is the VM. It is running on my app Windows PC. You can see it is inside the VM. Okay, so all of this was done by me. So I'll explain more on the script. I'll go into some details of the VM. Here, what I've done is um, I'll quickly explain the startup script. Okay, this is the Flask app. It logs the IP and the hostname. What it does is installs Python 3 Flask, and then gives all this code into app.py. Then it runs app.py, and this is done as a startup script. And I am creating E2 instance in the specific zone that is mentioned as a global variable. Okay, and when the CPU threshold crosses 75, it will trigger creating of the VM. And then if the IP is there, IP of the VM is fetched, it will write the IP to the file, okay, which is vmip.txt. You can see the same here. And uh, while installing Google Cloud SDK, I download keys.json through which I could log in from my PC itself. It is also good to do that. Um, and here you can see VM exists. All the resources and the HTTP requests are logged here. The stress is basically showing the stress, and we got a graph also whenever we try to run. So that is all for the video. Thank you so much.